Thundercats, ho!
Welcome back, Thundercats fans, to another Thundercats review and recap here on the Radical Retro Rewind podcast. And today is our first joint episode. Thundercats fans, instead of having two new episodes separate, we're doing the two episodes as one Thundercats hour. So you'll still be getting the two Thundercats episodes, but in one episode format. So, as always, I am Radical Ryan Hunter, and I'm here with everyone's favorite brother, David. David, what do you think about our new format that I just came up with 5 minutes ago?
I think it's a great idea. Yeah, I mean, if instead of having to click on yet another link or open something else up, you just listen right through. So I think it's more convenient, and I think everyone will like it.
You know what I found that was happening, David? When I was releasing our two episodes separate to kind of give, each episode its due, I noticed a lot of people were just clicking on the latest episode because it was coming up as the newest. So even though there was two episodes being released on the last Friday of every month, a lot of people were missing one of the episodes. So this is a way to alleviate that. Let's start off with, I want to give some thanks, David. We have been getting amazing feedback, of course. Craig was our original Thundercat listener who's still there. Thank you, Craig. T. Betty, thank you so much. T. Betty is a regular too. She loves Vulture Man, and I am here for that. And then we have to give it up to somebody who has left us brilliant, loving comments, and this is Mitesh. And I'm so sorry. I am hoping I am pronouncing your name right, our friend. Please let me know in the comments if
he doesn't even pronounce my name right.
That's true. David knows I can't pronounce anything in real life to begin with. So this our latest comment was from a month ago, and this was on the Thunder Cutter. Mitesh says, "Thank you, Ryan and David, for another entertaining episode. You are not alone, David. Siri needs a talking to about listening better. It was great to hear an extra long episode this week. Well worth the wait. Ryan, we are wondering if you'll be doing a special two-parter for Feedliner episodes coming up. Fingers crossed. Thank you." Yes, so by now you should have heard our first double episode. It actually was the catalyst for this new format. So we hope you enjoyed that, our friend. Thank you so much again for all the comments. It means so much to David and I, because like we always say, is anybody out there? You remember Dawn from the Buffy musical, her one song?
Is there anybody out there? Is there anybody that cares? Or whatever she said. She was mean to you at that show, so I don't like her. Dawny.
Oh my god, yeah. At the Madonna concert, she rolled her eyes when I smiled at her. Michelle Trachtenberg, you broke my heart. Harriet the Spy. I just was excited to see Dawn. Well, anyway, so back to Thundercats. So, everybody, our first episode this week is Mandora and the Pirates. Season 1, Episode 31, that aired on November 4th of 1985. Officer Mandora arrests the renegade robot Cracker and takes his... I can't even get past Cracker. Cracker!
I heard that too, and I was like... I mean, I know it's because it's supposed to be a pirate and the bird, like, probably want a cracker, like...
Yes!
I didn't understand why that was the term that they used for the robot pirate. And there was the Jolly Roger, too. There was the Jolly Roger.
Well... And Snarf knew all about it too, but it's so fun. You're right. Like, I guess since 85, it's so funny to hear the characters like Mandora just like, Cracker! It's Cracker!
Well, the other thing is, we're going to the Grey Penile Planet.
Yes. Matter of fact, yes, she takes the space freighter to the Grey Penile Planet, and Cracker traps her and releases all the prisoners. So that's the premise of this week's episode, David.
So I have questions, few questions, but I guess you should go to that beautiful Thundercats Wikipedia, that is the thing where we draw all of our information.
You're so good. David's right.
So here's the thing. when we do these shows, I probably have seen that episode in the 80s and maybe even the 90s, probably half a dozen times of every episode, but it's been then a span of like 10 years or something or more that I haven't seen them. So when I watch them again, they really, just some things that stand out. Like
it's like the first time all over again.
Like Lynn Lipton doing every single voice and like
and names.
Karen.
And especially in our second episode today, Mumm-Ra is above and beyond.
Mumm-Ra is my go-to for everything when it comes to being a Karen. Let's go back to Mandora and the Grey Penal Planet.
So, Mandora and the pirates, while out on a routine space patrol in her electrocharger, Mandora encounters an old space freighter which does not meet the intergalactic standards. She boards the ship for inspection. Finding only its captain on board, she instructs him to land the ship on the Grey Prison planet for further inspection. And meanwhile, Lion-O and Snarf, who have been monitoring Mandora from Cat's Lair, recognize the old space freighter as being the Jolly Rogers, the pirate ship of the notorious Captain Cracker.
So first of all, you got Lion-O that's so bored that he's listening to the police radio.
Stand by port 769er. We're ground bound.
Listening to the police band?
It's Mandora, hauling in a space freighter. I'll see if I can get a picture on the monitor. There it is. Look at that old space wreck. Have you ever seen one like it?
Why, snarf! That's an old X4 neutron drive. Wait a minute! Look at that transom. See how it's shaped like an ancient galleon? That's the Jolly Rogers!
The what?
The famous pirate ship. Years ago, it plundered the planets. The captain was a renegade robot named Cracker. He was exiled into a fixed orbit and left to space rot.
But he can't still be around.
No! Warn Mandora! Now! Before it's too late!
I'm trying to see if there's a speed trap going in case the feliner, I guess, comes out. Or no, was this before? This was
after the feliner, and thank you for pointing that out, because shouldn't they be able to travel into space? He mentions he can. And also, I want to say, Snarf, while he comes upon Lion-O listening to the police radio, he's holding a candy cane candy fruit this time, but it's literally just a candy cane, and he's just walking around with his Snarf candy cane. Oh, Lion-O!
He's like, are you watching Mandora again?
Oh my god.
I want to know if the technology advanced at that point, because I remember the Cat's Lair with the cat eyes not being able to see things on Third Earth, but now he can clearly get pictures up in space. So that's something. And the other thing that's really this whole episode that is sort of, I don't want to say irked me, but maybe, believe it or not.
Speak on it. Speak on your feelings.
How does Mandora breathe in space? How did Lion-O breathe in space?
Oh,
how does anybody breathe in space?
And matter of fact, that is part of our trivia. It says, this episode also shows the existence of gravity in space, but in other episodes, they were not able to breathe in space, and in this one, Lion-O is. So that is either a mistake, or the writers were just...
They were just like, just go with it. Who cares?
Electrocharger!
But here's the thing. I'm willing to suspend belief that Mandora is on the electrocharger and it like creates some sort of a barrier so she can like breathe in space. And I'm willing to go...
Helmet, right? So maybe she's okay.
I'm willing to go with even the fact that the Sword of Omens protects Lion-O above everything and has some kind of...
Yeah, okay.
At the end of, close to the end of the episode, he gets pushed off the plank and he's being hurtled towards Third Earth to die. He would have, in the vacuum of space, he didn't have the Sword of Omens. So, one of the reasons why I didn't like this episode so much, because it was like, if he would have gotten to the feliner and had to like board the ship through like the means that we know how to do it.
Right. Here's actually an idea, David. Could it be that the feliner is still out dropping off Snarfer with Panthro and Chitara, and that's why it wasn't available for him to get there, because there's no explanation, because the feliner would have been their space vehicle now, and he's like, there's no way I can get here. But Mandora says, by the way, get here immediately when she gets taken.
Thundercats here. This is Lion-O.
I'm trapped in the pirate ship, and they've overrun the guards and taken the prison.
What can I do?
Get here immediately!
But we have no intergalactic vehicles here.
Then listen up! We've got beam-to-beam contact, so I'm going to send you the electrocharger by remote control. Project these numbers on your communal computer board. Ready? 10, 22, 18.
Immediately.
He's like, what can I do? She's like, get here immediately.
A matter of fact, and Snarf, mister, he knows everything. He goes, that's Cracker! That's the Jolly Roger, and that's Cracker.
The captain was a renegade robot named Cracker.
He's like, I don't care how you get here, but get here if you can.
Get here if you can, that's right.
So I'm going to be Wikipedia for a second. So Captain Cracker, Mandora, she's trapped in his cockpit, so to speak, I guess you would say. She knows that he can't blast her because that he'll damage his only ship to get off of the planet.
Right.
The gray planet.
Right.
Warning! Warning! You are on board the pirate ship called
The Jolly Rogers, bucko!
Take off her timbers!
Warning!
Captain Cracker, I place you under close space arrest.
Not likely! Attacker, me hearties!
But he ends up taking Quick Pick. Is that what his name is? Quick Pick?
Yes.
Is his name really Quick Pick? Because that's what when you go buy lottery tickets in the States, you go and say, can I get a Quick Pick, I guess, lotto or whatever, Quick Pick.
It actually is Quick Pick, though. It is actually Quick Pick.
You don't know if you're going to get a lottery ticket that's going to automatically pick the numbers for you at random, or you're going to pick up some interplanetary...
Or a grasshopper. Is he a
a
grasshopper or a praying mantis?
I don't know. So,
Well, we know he's a robot because at one point his freaking arm gets removed by a bolt. But besides the fact...
You're right about that. But we have other ways. You recognize Quick Pick here? I'm told he's an old friend, a reformed man, and not popular among the other honest thieves and murderers.
I assure you, sir, I am neutral here, just doing my time.
Now, Officer Mandora, either you leave my ship, or I literally take this one-time king of the pickpockets apart.
You can't threaten the law.
Oh, please, sir, I'm right-handed.
Stop that! Cease at once!
It's loose.
All right, enough! I'm coming down.
Wise decision.
I'm just gonna tear this episode.
Go
to
through it.
shreds.
Go through it. Go through
So
it.
Captain Cracker, knows all about the planet. He knows where people are. He knows that Quick Pick
Is there?
is Mandora's like little buddy because he's helped out in previous situations where he's not as bad. He's sort of reformed.
He's serving his time. He just wants to
The
make
other thing
do.
is that you do find out that they're going to boil Mandora and Boyle. But here's the best part. Captain Cracker says that there are a lot of hungry robots. So they're going to eat her flesh?
Our cooking pot is ready. It's time for the main course.
Boiler in oil! Boiler in oil! Boiler in oil!
And they're robots that eat flesh?
That is what I was gonna ask you, because, okay, one of the prisoners that come out is a giant rhino, okay, but the other one looks like a robot that's in plastic.
This ain't Spider-Man. Don't get the rhino after me. This is Spider-Man. Anyway.
That's true, but he does look like they want to be the rhino villain. And the other one is all I can describe as a plastic man or an exoskeleton toy from the 80s with a metal body inside.
He looks like do you remember the movie They Live?
Yes,
Kinda
yes.
has side, like the head, like it's an open brain with like a fish tank thing over it, or like when Mars attacks.
Yes, like plastic. And Snarf also does say she's always in trouble.
I've got to get there fast to help out Mandora.
That police person is always in trouble.
Of course, that's the business she's in.
Oh my god, he's like that police person.
Yeah, he calls a police person.
And Lionel's like, well, that's her job, defending his woman.
You know, right, because we did touch on this before. He kind of has something for Mandora. I think it's because she's mysterious and she's in control, maybe.
Powerful.
And he likes that. He likes that. So
he's the Lord of the Thundercats, but he ain't in the bedroom. He's as helpless as a kitten.
And he needs somebody to keep him down. By the way, she sends the electrocharger to him. She says, "Put in this coordinates, and it will come to you." And it does. It comes for Lionel. It takes him to Captain Cracker. So Cracker has Mandora tied up over a top of a giant boiling pot of oil. As he begins to lower her in, Lionel and Quick Pick arrive just in time to save Mandora from being boiled alive.
You also find out that Lionel cannot use the Sword of Omens because of some sort of gravitational thing.
By now, Captain Cracker is boiling her in oil.
What? Stay here if you want. I'm going after Mandora.
Wait for me! Anyway, you've got that sword.
The Eye of Thundera cannot be activated here because of the magnetic field.
You mean we have to tackle this on our own?
No, what was that about? But yet it
Like,
does everything else.
I can't use the Sword of Omens here because of the gravitational pull or something. And every planet has gravitational pulls. That's why it keeps you on the ground. So,
Well, I don't understand that either. Like, and how would Lionel even know that unless it was something that Jaga maybe told him in spirit form around the way?
I think it's because the Sword of Omens would have easily overpowered all of these different entities.
True.
They're not unique in any possible way, really. The things that they're like random robots that shoot a lightning stuff or whatever.
But they did say it was the worst criminals from all over the planet. But yeah, you're right.
Years collecting criminals.
But yeah, you're right. They were generic villains, like fill in the blank villains, and two of them. Maybe Cracker was keeping everyone else.
They could have easily thrown in a couple of mutants that looked like Slive and everything, and actually made a thing where they escaped and could have been part of a new crew of bad guys.
Ooh, that's actually a great idea, David. That would have actually elevated Mandora and the pirates a little. So, I mean, we already said that she was over the pot of oil, but I will say that Mandora selfishly surrenders herself.
Selflessly, you said selfishly.
Oh, Mandora selflessly surrenders herself when she hears Quick Pick being taken apart, his bolt in his arm, and she's like, "No, stop it!" So she does have a little.
What did she say? You can't intimidate the law, or you can't stop the law? He's very
well, something like that. But listen, I guess you can because Quick Pick has a little place in her heart. I wonder on the Great Penile Planet if he is one of those prisoners that goes by the book. He's just serving his time at this point, and
he's semi-cowardly too. That's what he's.
Yes. Captain Cracker says they are hungry prisoners. Mandora and Quick Pick escape, but Lionel gets caught by Captain Cracker and his cronies. They tie him up, blindfold him, and make him walk the plank into outer space. Just as Lionel steps off the plank, Mandora and Quick Pick catch him in the electrocharger. Captain Cracker sails his ship to Third Earth with the intention of attacking Cat's Lair. Lionel uses the Sword of Omens to summon and warn his friends about the impending danger. The Thundercats set off in the Thunder Tank to intercept the Jolly Rogers as it lands in a nearby river. So, David, we already have the Berserkers as land pirates. Did we need space pirates, or are you okay with that?
Spaceballs!
Well, Spaceballs the musical.
We need Spaceballs. I honestly, I'm gonna go with this episode. I'm gonna go with, and forgive me if anybody's out here that put their heart and soul in this episode or wrote this one. I think they just needed some extra filler, and then like, let's throw another pirate in. Let's throw in. We want to bring Mandora back in some way because she can be a reoccurring character. Let's just throw in another prison thing. Because the same prison. It's the same thing from the last time. Evil prisoners escaped on these little, from the little cages that Mandora dropped on Third Earth.
You're right.
And yes, pirates seem to be the theme. But I will say this, knowing that Third Earth is so much like the Dungeons and Dragons ride, it makes sense that there's pirates because they're like a ragtag bunch of like criminals and stuff. That's like very raw. That's like when we go back to even the history of our Earth, first Earth, if you're going to call it, that there were pirates and kind of these type of things. So I guess it kind of lends the fact that even space is raw and
the final frontier.
We're not no captain. There's no Captain Picard or Janeway or any other. No Babylon 5 going on up in this place.
Well, okay, so the Berserkers do that cliche with repeating things 3 times. So they were like, what can we do with this pirate? Okay, we're going to give them the Jolly Rogers, and that's going to be a spaceship. And we're going to give him a mechanical parrot. And we're going to call him Captain Cracker. So that's the difference here. We got to give it up to Mumm-Ra doing Captain Cracker's voice. I hear you, Mumm-Ra. I hear you in there. I'm surprised he didn't bust into something. Mandora! As soon as Captain Cracker and his robot companions emerge from the ship, Panthro fires a net from the Thunder Tank and succeeds in capturing all of them. Mandora later arrives and takes all the prisoners back to the gray, penile planet. Few trivias for this episode. In this episode, Lionel reveals that the Sword of Omen cannot be activated in a magnetic field. In the pilot episode, Panthro explains that he chose Third Earth as the Thundercats' new home because it had breathable atmosphere. Yet in this episode of Thundercats, the other characters are shown to be able to breathe in outer space without suits or equipment. And this episode also shows the existence of gravity in space as shown when Lionel walks the plank and begins to fall through space. So that is actually another thing. Yeah, why would he fall down? He should float, right? Or burn up.
My theory is this. The ship was so close to the upper atmosphere of Third Earth that he was pulled by gravity.
Okay, that actually improves.
So it's like when someone sends a GoPro camera up in space and it falls down to the Earth and they take pictures of it. It's kind of like, so maybe he's far enough above the planet, but not so far that he's in space. I don't know.
I can see Willa from here and her treetop kingdom. And we usually ask for a biggest bungler, but I am gonna move the biggest bungler to the end of this double episode so we could see out of the 2 episodes who was the biggest bungler.
You're going to save our normal who is the biggest bungler to the end of both episodes so that we can decide between the 2 episodes who was the biggest bungler.
So we were not feeling Mandora and the Pirates, David. I agree. I'm with you. I feel like it was generic. I feel like it was a filler episode because this was a daily show. So you got to have a filler episode once in a while.
I liked that Mandora fell into Lionel's strong animal arms.
You think they were trying to set those 2 up as love interests?
I don't know, but she's very demanding, so he might like that. I don't know.
Curiosity killed the cat.
You better get yourself here now.
Immediately! Wow, okay, Mandora, okay. And he did it, and he did it. Immediately!
Get here immediately!
And he listens. He gets promptly to it.
Thundercats! Ho! Swing into action when the Thundercats return to face the forces of evil. No Thundercat will ever give in to evil. Fly into action as the superheroes battle Mumm-Ra and his pack of mutants. We'll smash the Thundercats once and for all. So get ready to light the fuse for danger this fall with the Thundercats.
Weekday afternoons at 3:30.
So then, David, we travel all the way to November 5th of 1985 for Season 1, Episode 32, The Return of the Driller. So, I gotta say, where Mandora and the Pirates was a little I found Return of the Driller to be a great episode.
I have many, many notes. And you know when I have notes, it's good.
This is great because honestly, Thundercats fans, we had really nothing to say about Mandora and the Pirates. I think everything is going into Return of the Driller. So it is a race against time for the Thundercats when Mumm-Ra orders the Driller to...
It's a thriller night. You're fighting for your life inside out.
It's a race against time for the Thundercats when Mumm-Ra orders the Driller to bore... This says to bore a tunnel from Airdates Lake to Cats Lair. Bore? So, let's start off the episode, David. It is Wily Kit and Wily Cat are enjoying themselves picking apples in the forest. We get to see unicorns again. We get to see a unicorn fountain, a matter of fact.
And you see them riding unicorns, blissfully playing and collecting apples. First of all, I'm very happy to know that apples survived to thirder.
But does that mean they're irradiated?
Bill Gates, I guess you should be putting all apples on all of that farmland that you're buying in the Midwest because apparently it will survive the apocalypse and becoming third Earth. So, apples, people. Apples.
No, but Mumm-Ra's like, they have the most pesticides.
No, I wrote down pretty much what he said, and this man is off his rocker. He's looking in his magic tool. He's looking, and this man is the epitome of Karen, giving me Karen vibes this whole time. He says, and I think I'm putting this because I'm listening late at night. Karen Ra, Mum Karen.
Mum Karen.
Mom Jared basically says that it's what a quaint, tranquil scene as the Thundercats are romping and playing unmolested on my planet. On my planet, he says, I will soon put an end to this fragility.
Oh, very charming. What a tranquil scene. The Thundercats romp and play unmolested on my planet. I shall soon put an end to this frivolity. Begone, foul image. Driller, send the devil of the deep earth. Mumm-Ra summons you once more. Pyramid, I await you.
So first of all, it's his planet. This is every Karen in an HOA community. How dare you put those on my property? It ain't on your property. How dare you are romping and playing unmolested on my planet.
Okay, so I got so much things to say about this whole...
Wait, he is furious. He is so pissed off. And then he says, basically to the magic cauldron pool of darkness, turn this off. I'm not watching this anymore. He's pissed. What does he actually say? He's so mad that turn this off. I've had it. He's done.
What's
the word to use? Because it was so pissed.
Here's when we cue the clip.
Begone, foul image.
So now you just heard the clip.
Be gone, foul image. He says, be gone, foul image.
Mumm-Ra, he was on it this episode because, like David says, he is extremely annoyed that the Thundercats are thriving on what he claims to be his planet.
On my planet. Yeah, and you didn't buy enough Girl Scout cookies for my daughter when she came to your house. Yeah. You told me you didn't have money. I told you could pay by check. I told you could use a credit card. You could Venmo me the money. You will now be gone, you foul image. Karen,
unmolested.
You walked around unmolested? Well, now would you want to see what happens?
I guess we should just state the obvious that it wouldn't be used in this. I'm so shocked that Hulu didn't censor this in our day and age, the unmolested part, even though it is innocent. It's not meaning what it is. Unmolested meaning unbothered.
Unbothered, undisheveled.
Yes. Aren't you shocked though that someone like in our day and age, it didn't have some random person in 2022 going, the Thundercats have gone unbothered for now. I could just picture them adding some terrible dub to cover that up. But no. So why is it that he picked the Thunder Kittens in this very episode, because we know he's always watching them. Does he just go, show me a random Thundercat and like let me see what's going on over here?
He touches his little pinky, his little finger to the cauldron, the pool of darkness. I'm calling it the viewing pool, or his Arlo cameras, because he's Karen.
The Arlo.
He has
Arlo notification.
He has Arlo cameras set out around Third Earth. Couple in the Treetop Kingdom with Willa. He's got some at Cats Lair. He's hidden. He's put some at, he presses the
Unicorn
button,
Forest.
He gets a notification that the Acid River is,
Well, this is like those, if you ever see those Bigfoot hunting shows, they put trail cams out and that go off when you're in a certain section of the forest. So yeah, the Thunder Kittens were riding those unicorns. As a matter of fact, standing on their back to reach those trees.
I just love that every time they have this banter, they always, Wily Kit and Wily Cat, she's always like, you're gonna fall, and he does. It's like, haha, like he's like I didn't realize watching now, having seen it again, that they're not mean to each other by any stretch of the imagination. They have fun together, but
they tease
less
each other.
Coordinated, and the brother is less coordinated, but they have fun with it. That's nice.
I like that they do that. I do like that, and they keep that theme, like David's saying, which is a great point. Falling off the space boards, falling off this. Yes, he is always like, oh, I'm gonna fall, Wily Kid. Let's go back to the Black Pyramid. Mumm-Ra decides that he is gonna go all out. He calls back the Driller, the Sand Devil of the Deep Earth. I love that that's his term for him. And let's just say it, Mumm-Ra is feeling his oats today because he goes for this low-hanging fruit. He abuses the Driller. He verbally abuses the Driller in this episode. He goes, you like diamonds? Oh, you like diamonds? No, you need them or you become useless. Tell me you become useless. Tell me I am your king.
Driller, you like diamonds? It is not a question of like or dislike, almighty Mumm-Ra. Without diamonds, a driller's drill point grows dull. Yes, dull. And when your point dulls, you are useless, correct? Yes, all-powerful one, unable to move and buried under earth for eternity. I'm glad we understand each other. Then you shall do as I say, Driller, or I shall stop giving you a diamond. I shall do as you say. I shall do as you say. What? I shall do as you say, Master. You are a devoted servant, Driller. To the throne room. I shall show you your mission.
Tell me
you want it. Tell me you need me. Tell me you love me.
Because he goes, it is not a matter of wanting a wonderful one. I need it. That's right. You're useless. Tell me you're useless without these diamonds that I supply to you. I couldn't believe it.
Tell me you love me. Tell me everything. Tell me I'm your world.
He's not getting it from the mutants, so he's literally like, who can I call up today? Oh, the Driller. I give him some diamonds.
And he says, yes, whatever. And he's like, yes, what? Yes, your majesty. Whatever he makes him say. Yes, you supreme wonderfulness. Whatever he does.
He really needs the boost today.
Do you know what? Every time I watch, and he takes him into, I love when they show like different parts of the pyramid though, where they're like, this is the treasure room with the diamonds again. And he's like, I just love it. I loved it all. Do you remember when we were younger, when they had that kitty litter that sparkled?
I think they still do, sadly. Yes.
And it was first of all, I thought it was toxic and poisonous. And there was a little cat going,
sure it is.
He's looking for diamonds.
Abner, we're rich. It's our new litter. It's got diamonds in it.
You are mistaken, my friends. The diamonds are odor-absorbing crystals in Tidy Cat's Crystals Blend.
Whatever. Tidy Cat's Crystals Blend.
Now, I thought it was that, and then, of course, I was thinking of Marilyn. Diamonds are a girl's best friend.
But I prefer a man who lives and gives expensive jewels. A kiss on the hand may be quite continental, but diamonds are a girl's best friend.
Our driller's best friend.
I had an image of Mumm-Ra dancing around with diamonds on.
Oh my god, David, I think I need to come up for the Instagram page if I could do this. Like maybe the driller in a Marilyn white dress and Mumm-Ra giving him diamonds draped in gold. Tell me I'm beautiful. Tell me you want me.
That's what he's basically. Tell him I'm your everything. I am your master, your beginning, your end.
Again, he's really upset today, Mumm-Ra.
Oh,
he's like, no. So, unaware of the grave danger they are in, the Thundercats are carrying on their daily activities. Snarf is preparing applesauce using the apples that the Thunder Kittens pluck.
Hey, Snarf! That smells great! I sure would like a taste of some of those apples I helped pick.
Snarf, snarf! Don't get any ideas, Wily Cat. This applesauce is for our late-night snack.
How come we get to stay up late tonight, Snarf?
Well, Tigra and Panthro are working on a new super fuel for the Thunder Tank. Tigra says he'll have the formula ready by late tonight. We're gonna celebrate with the applesauce. More cinnamon.
The adult Thundercats are testing out a new super fuel invented by Tigra for the Thunder Tank. Where is this Tigra? Tigra, we need you. Give us your super fuel that lasts for months. He's like, with a drop. This drop just, this is all it takes.
No, what I was gonna say is the Thundercat, the Wily Kit and Wily Cat were able to stay up later because
wasn't that sweet?
Snarf was making applesauce to celebrate
fuel,
the new fuel, and Tigra said he would be ready by the later evening. I thought that was so wholesome, and that again shows why Mumm-Ra hates them so much, because they're, even though they're fierce warriors, they're also very wholesome and loving. And because I have kids, of course, and applesauce, and it's just being cute, and I wish that my kids would eat just more applesauce as desserts.
Maybe you have to make it like Snarf does.
Yeah, it's so funny.
But I mean, it's cute because, like David's saying too, again, these are kids. We forget because they are warriors, and they're making something special out of the whole thing, celebrating. Yes, they're getting to stay up late. It's a celebration. And
I was just happy there wasn't they weren't apples of death. I'm so happy they weren't poisoned apples in the deadly apple forest of hell. You know, because that's what happens in Third Earth. Everything is
David. This episode alone, they go through everything you could think of. Tigra's making the fuel, and suddenly Lion-O detects a foul odor in the air.
Maybe it's something Snarf's cooking. Snarf, what in the world are you cooking?
Why, it's your favorite, Lion-O.
Oh?
Red alert! Get ready for possible evacuation of the lair!
What's going on?
That foul odor! I put it through the analyzer. It's ultrasolvic acid. Same stuff that's in Acid Lake.
We've got to get to the control room and see why Acid Lake is flooding.
Lion-O uses the Sword of Omen sight beyond sight and discovers that the acid is right under the lair. Tigra suggests that the only substance that can neutralize the acid is sponge fog. And the Thundercats rush to a pink. It's literally a sponge.
Supersonic. Get it, baby D.
So the Thunder Tank soon reaches the valley where the sponge fog grows. Panthro engages the tank's cutters, and they carve out a block of the sponge fog. And this is dramatic too. Lin Limpin's like, "I've touched rock!" when they're cutting the piece of the sponge fog.
I ain't saying nothing.
I feel rock. She's like, I hit. They're like, we need a size.
I'd like to feel the rock too, Lynn.
Poor Chitara. We need 20.
Dwayne the Rock.
I feel the rock is near. Panthro engages the tank's cutter and carves out a block of the sponge fog. As the Thundercats start to tow the sponge fog, rockmen start pelting the tank with giant boulders from the tops of the cliffs. And this is a great idea. Snarf says, too bad we can't use that sponge to reflect it. And they do. Lionel's like, push it up. So in order to avoid the shower of boulders, Panthro decides to take the detour through the forest of the giant insects. Of course there is a forest of giant insects. Why wouldn't
Lord,
there be?
it must be like living in Australia. It's like living in Australia. What are you talking about? Don't tell me I don't know about giant insects. Go to Australia.
You know, I forgot to say this, David. Then when Mumm-Ra's going about his whole plan to tell the Driller what to do about the acid, there was the shot of the ancient spirits of evil, and they had their Alexa eyes glit up because they were listening. Like Siri Alexa eyes. They weren't saying anything, but they were glowing listening to Mumm-Ra's plan. Like, what is he coming up with?
And then all of a sudden, Mumm-Ra, do you want to repurchase
Toot and Tiny's formula?
From Amazon Prime, your bandages, you're due to buy more bandages.
No, but you know what he buys instead? An hourglass. Just to be more dramatic, he pulls out an hourglass. I think he's actually going to go to sleep. I got the idea that he was putting that hourglass out and he was going to go back to sleep in his tomb.
Yeah, exactly. And I got Wicked Witch of the West realness going on. And it isn't long, sweetie. It isn't long, Dorothy.
He's like, no, this is it. They're not going to get through the insects. They're not going to get through this, but they get through the insects, David. But then the Thundercats encounter, is it Mechanosect? The Mechanosect, and then a giant beetle, but the cats manage to vanquish both the bugs. The tank then abruptly stops due to a fault with the transmission, and Lion-O exits the tank to inspect it, but immediately gets seized in the mandibles of a giant worm. And this is when Snarf is like, no, he's been gone too long. And you see that in the back seat, Cheetara, Tiger, and the Thunder Kittens are just, they just sit there in their chair and just wait to be activated. We didn't get the drug yet, the eye light up drug. No, we can't do anything. So Lion-O manages to grab his sword and summons the other Thundercats. Panthro, Tigra, and Cheetara attack the worm and let it go.
Those cursed Thundercats have escaped the acid. But without the protection of Cats Lair, they will be no match for Mumm-Ra. And 1 hour is all it will take for that acid to turn Cats Lair to liquid chowder. 1 hour, Thundercats! That's all it will take to destroy everything you have on third Earth!
So seeing that the Thundercats has successfully overcome all obstacles that he had given them to face, Mumm-Ra decides to delay them himself. He knows that they're coming up, David, to the...
Wait. There's so much going on here. You gotta go back. There's so much going on. So... Mumm-Ra has been watching everything on his viewing. I'm calling it his viewing pool, as always. His viewing pool, and he is getting more and more pissed off. He says at one point, "I am the immortal one, but they keep surviving everything."
Yes, I am the immortal one, and yet they survive.
Karen. I'm the head of the HOA. I'm the president of the HOA, and they still get things approved for their house that I don't want. So. I think it's pretty funny, and I also think it's funny that he basically says 1 hour till it all will be taken away to destroy everything you have on Third Earth.
Oh, he does say that everything
this is his
you
dialogue.
have, everything.
And then he also says he's putting their lights out permanently. He wants to put their lights out permanently. And then he says something about when Lion-O, with the worm eats cat, how fitting, or something, like when the worm got...
He was feeling it
just all over the place.
He really did have emotions.
He was disgusted with his afterlife. Or immortality at that point. But when you say something like, I'm the immortal one, but they keep surviving everything, I think I would hear that in some kind of a vampire thing, or on Charmed or something, when they do, I'm the immortal one.
I am the immortal one, yet they survive every ordeal. But now, their time is running out.
I I know. So this is when Mumm-Ra's like, what did this life give me, ancient spirits? You gave me depression. You gave me loneliness. What did this immortal life give me? I can't even kill these Thundercats, but I don't want to. I don't want them gone. I mean, because honestly, we know he don't want them gone.
In this episode, he didn't want them gone. I still believe he likes to play with them. But he's furious now. He feels like he is truly a sociopath and a narcissist, because he thinks that everything an affront to him, everything is against him. Like, they're eating apples. They're not thinking about you, Mumm-Ra.
Those are his apples, David.
Everything is like being like they're spitting in his face, like telling him, ha ha. They're not thinking about you. But that's what I'm telling you. That's why he's that crazy. He is a crazy.
Their pure existence is spitting in his face. Their existence. So
I want to do a shout out to the Lake of Acid and the River of Despair for this episode.
Oh my god. Why is there not one piece of third Earth that is not going to kill you? Literally giant insects, rocks.
The apple's bitten.
That's the I bet you give us a few more weeks, David. Those apples will be poisoned somehow. The acid is gonna come from the ultrasonic acid is gonna come. And why is it like this, David? Why is it like this? So they're trying to get to the Bridge of Light, right? We saw that the Unicorn Keeper usually has to put a whole ceremony, put the crystal in the thing. She already had it up for them. The shark wasn't there, the spider shark, the Great Widow shark.
Maybe she just permanently did it. She's like, you know what?
I don't want to be bothered.
It's the honor system. You know, like when you go to like a farm stand and it's like, grab your own and put the money in the box.
Put your eggs. Yeah, get my eggs, my unicorn eggs.
Whatever. She's like, just put a couple of dollars in the box. It's honor system here. We can walk the bridge. I'm gonna have it set up permanently.
Cause didn't we see that it took a unicorn, had to bring over a diamond and put it into the
more diamonds.
Yes, right. The driller. Those diamonds are mine. Bring them here. He says, oh no, I'm transforming into Mumm-Ra the Ever-Living, and I am going to break that Bridge of Light. So as they start to cross it, Mumm-Ra flies in and destroys the bridge. The Thunder Tank falls into the River of Despair below. After almost being sucked into the whirlpool of affinity, the Thundercats manage to reach the Cats Lair just in time to plug the hole in the foundation with the sponge fog and save their home.
I'll hammer a hole through to the foundation. Then we'll swivel the Thunder Tank and pack the foundation with the sponge fog. All right.
Let's do it.
Okay, so one, Mumm-Ra literally flew in, flew out. He didn't wait to see if his plan was going to work because he, again, thinks this is it. All he had to do was hit that bridge, let them fall down, go into the whirlpool of infinity. No. And then, is that acid still there for forever now outside Cats Lair, just waiting past that sponge fog? Because Mumm-Ra could have just said, remove the sponge fog. Remove the fog!
So there's two things that I wanted to bring up. One is when Mumm-Ra transforms this time, you get a double, like the ancient spirits of evil, you see them like it happens twice. Like I don't know if that has to do just with the way they cut it or whatever. Like you see it like the transformation with the eyes and then it goes back to them again. Like he's really pumped up.
Escaped again, but for the last time. Their only way back is over the River of Despair. This time, I shall put out their light personally. Ancient spirits of evil, transform this decayed form to Mumm-Ra.
The other thing that also intrigued me about this was that, again, at the very end of the episode, you're right, he does leave very quickly, being satisfied with what he's done, but then you realize that he's very weak and he has to go back to sleep again. And he basically is like, so again, as a child, I remember being not frightened, but like a little like leery, because it was like really volatile and vile the way he transformed. But he's not as strong as, looking at this kind of stuff, I feel like he's not as powerful as I thought he was, or at least he's like a cheetah. You know when they say cheetahs can only run up their top speed for a short period of time?
Yes.
I don't know. He's like your 18-year-old self, guys. You know what I'm talking about. Young guys. You only last for a few, you give it your all and you only last for a short period of time.
My time has run out, but I will never give in. I will return and wipe the Thundercats off the face of third Earth.
No, you know what it is? I think it's because the ancient spirits of evil did this to him, so he stays in line. Because if he had that ultimate power continuously, maybe he would try to overthrow them? Or, do something else or not be. I think this is their way of keeping him under his thumb. Like, we give you power, but it's limited, Mumm-Ra.
Your grandfather, I don't know if you remember this, your grandfather used to say, don't ever be envious of somebody. They always have a price to pay. You might not see it, but basically, there's always a price to pay. You might think they have everything. So he might have immortality, but there's a price to pay for it, which is...
craziness.
Misery, loneliness, insanity. Paid service. Clean up that pyramid. He is the classic definition of depression.
Honestly, it's true.
Even though he's crusty and old, like, if you lived it, like, I'm going off on a weird tangent here, because mental health is very important, and not Mumm-Ra's, obviously. But, he lives in a pyramid, which is obviously a former glory. Right?
Yes.
So I'm thinking he was some sort of Egyptian, whatever, former glory. Would you not want to keep up would you not want all these beautiful, like, whatever's on the walls, everything to be adorned with your gloriousness as opposed to being all crusty and whatever?
Well, that probably explains in the future if and when Mumm-Ra might get a pet. I think that might be a good idea, wink wink. That might help with his depression. So, some notes in trivia, Thundercats fan. Much of the scenes in which Mumm-Ra summons the Driller and pays him diamonds was reused from Spinning Image when the Driller made his debut. When the Thundercats are trying to free Lion-O from the grasp of the giant worm, the brief sequence of animation focuses on Tiger's bolo whip licking through the air is taken from the show's opening titles, which I did notice. It was like the bolo whip on a blank screen, like from the intro. And despite the title of the episode, the Driller only appears for a few minutes in the beginning, is not seen again. Bye, Driller.
He got his diamonds and he ran. Oh, you know what? Thinking of trivia, going back to the previous episode with Mandora, since we're doing our new format, was that when Lion-O called the Thundercats from space, was that not from the opening credits too? That when the streak of, like, red goes across third Earth?
Oh, yes. No, it doesn't say anything, which is actually weird, because usually they tell you when it repeats footage. But I know exactly what you're talking about. It's that same effect of the red
Well,
beam.
anybody out there listening, let us know.
This leads me to ask you, David.
You bungler! Once again, you have failed.
You bungled it!
Delightful.
Who was the biggest bungler? We have 2 episodes. Was it Mumm-Ra? Was it the Driller? Was it Diamonds itself? Was it Captain Cracker and his group of Rhino and Plastic Man? Was it Snarf's applesauce burning?
Was it Wily Kid and Wily Cat falling off of Unicorn?
Yeah. Was it them going unmolested in the forest?
What I'm gonna ask you first, because I always have to answer this first, I think, if memory serves me well. Who do you think's the biggest bungler and why?
I'm going with freaking Captain Cracker because I don't like his existence. I don't like that he exists. I actually like the character's look, but what? Why are you here? Why are you here, Captain Cracker? And they made you an action figure from LJN back in the day, too. You got your own action figure, and Mandora didn't. So, Captain Cracker is my bungler. I do like his bird, though, his parrot.
I'm going to offend a lot of people. The biggest bungler is the person that allowed that cartoon with the pirates to be aired.
I'm going to look to see what the writer was. Okay, so this was written by William.
The producer bungled that that one.
You really bungled this one. So
call them name out on this podcast.
I am. I actually just want to see if they've written.
I hope you're miserable from this.
Let's see the episodes that William Overgard wrote. Mandora, Evil Chaser. Okay, so he's got a thing for Mandora. The Fireballs of Plunder. Okay, he introduced us to the Inflamer, so he's okay for that. Mandora and the Pirates. Dr. Dome Tome. Another winner of an episode. The Thunder Cutter, which, okay, that was Hachi-Man. Sword in a Hole, which we didn't get to. Cracker's Revenge. Captain Cracker comes back. He's known for this. He's known for these episodes. There's more, but I don't want to spoil them. Screw Loose, The Circus Train, Swan Song.
So 50-50, I don't like his... I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry, because, I mean, this is our feelings. These are our feelings. Fireballs of Plunder.
Yeah, that wasn't bad at all.
Thunder Cutter, possibly, but Dr. Dome Tome? And Cracker's Revenge? I could almost imagine what Cracker's Revenge is going to be. I remember Captain Cracker coming back, but... So, William, till we meet again, William. Okay, so William was your biggest bungler.
I'm sorry, William.
I hope he's alive, and I hope he's listening to this.
What, so we can insult an older person? Oh, that's great.
You know what, William? Your work lives on. You gave us Mandora. You gave us Lynn Lipton doing Mandora impressions, so that gives you credit. That alone.
Yeah. This is where podcast turns...
we break hearts. No, honestly, I'm glad for whatever Thundercats we get. I mean, you have to have some fillers.
I'm just basically saying that for me, so far as of what we've watched, Dr. Dome Tome and this pirate thing, not my favorites.
Not at all.
And I'm entitled to my opinion. So, but yeah, we're having fun with it. We're not like dogging somebody.
Oh no.
But yeah, it's not our favorite.
Herky, no Herky, and no Cracker. Especially when you go from Mandora and the Pirates to this episode that we just did with Mumm-Ra going crazy. There's such a quality difference. Thundercats fans, we hope you enjoy our new format and us being more all over the place than ever before. We hope that we also gave you some laughs with Mumm-Ra Karen and just his pure crazy shenanigans that this man comes up with. So, that alone. Next month, we will have another Thundercats Hour, Power Hour, maybe we'll call it, with 2 new episodes the last Friday of every month. Parting messages, David, for our kitty cats?
Maybe we should call it the Ho Hour.
Ho!
You know what I say? I
still think they're diamonds. Diamonds!
Tell me I am your master!
Yes, that's what I'm gonna leave. I want to leave you with that. Tell me I'm everything. Tell me I'm your world. You like my diamonds?
Poor Mumm-Ra.
Oh my God! It was like when we went to that farm thing with the kids. The guy that was dressed like Marilyn Monroe or whatever. He had his diamonds on.
We should have asked him. Do you know the Driller?
The Maryland Fireman. I bet you he knows the Driller. I'm just saying.
Oh my God. Dun 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 dun. Thank you, Thundercats fans. Until next time, stay safe and wear your diamonds.
Bye bye.